What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, brother Saeed. Today is Thursday. This is a late edition, special edition of Get the Black Mind Right. And there is something that I'm definitely going to touch on because I read this post um this morning, and the way they worded it just made me really um, thought about how they was trying to present this story to the people. And it says the health clinic that had Black Panther Party roots at a Seattle public middle school is offering free gender reassignment medication for children as young as 11 years old. Well, I have two issues right now. First of all, it's just how they worded it. It's just how they worded it. Where I had the issue with Black Panther, a health clinic that has Black Panther Party roots at a Seattle public middle school is offering free gender reassignment medication for children as young as 11 years old. So this is the thing. First of all, I know, and anybody that know anything about the Black Panther Party, they're not going to associate with anything that harms minors. It says offering free gender reassignment medications for children as young as 11 years old. Now, where are we going as a people? Where are we going as a parent? And who would let their child at 11 years old be even part of that? This culture thing is really kind of, it upsets me because it's like it's like it's like if we speak up against stuff like this, we are the bad party. Gilbert Arenas said this a while back, is that our rights doesn't mean anything because of the trend that we're so big on, supporting the transgender rights. And I agree with him, because it's like anything we say about the LGBTQ or the transgender community, it's like we're hating. I'm not hating. I just think that we are we are in a period in our lives where is we are being we are being forced to accepting things that I don't think we really want to accept. If they keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you, the media is like the worst enemy to people, and we fall victims to everything the media puts out there. I want to have parents, that this reassignment medication for children as young as 11 years old. I wonder what parents know about this and what parents agree to this. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. And when they talk about the health clinic that has Black Panther Party roots, are they really? And I read up on it. And what they mean by the Black Panther Party roots is the free breakfast, the free medical clinics, and things of that nature. But it didn't. But they could have. They should have just took. They should have eliminated the Black Panther Party's name. Should never came up in this conversation, and that's what I was upset about, because now, people don't do research. People don't think no more. All people do is just read and go by what they read. So let me read this. The mental health center at Meany Middle School, which is independently operated, offers students in Seattle public schools comprehensive medical and behavioral health services at no cost. Now, like the health, that's part of the Black Panther ideology. Made well, comprehensive medical and behavioral health services at no cost. Now, the behavioral health services I don't really know about, but the medical is at no cost. But then they said including gender reaffirming care. The Black Panther Party, and even back in the '60s, we wasn't even having this conversation about gender reaffirming care. We weren't even having this conversation about people identifying themselves as something other than a male or female. We weren't even having that conversation. And then it says reproductive care management and medical referral, according to the middle school's website. I, I don't understand. You know, I I don't really even know how. I don't even really know how to speak on this because this isn't my forte. But I do know that reaffirming care, where we at? Gender reassignment medication. What does that mean? It means that these kids are going to be taking medication to. It's pretty much just hormones. That's all it is. Hormones to transition them from male to a female or vice versa. That's what it is. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But do not associate this with the Black Panther Party. And for any parent, are we still okay with them educating your children? No, okay, you ain't seen nothing yet. And Cassandra, I agree with you 100%. You know, I just don't. I just when they say 11 years old, and people can sit here and say what they want to say, but kids are real impressionable. I think I'm saying that right. So if we keep feeding them this, feeding them this, feeding them this, feeding them this is what we get. This is what we get. You know what I mean? It's like even with the education thing. How can you sit here and fight against Black history, and then some man in Florida saying that Black history, slavery was good for Black people, and then a basketball team, some organization within the basketball team or the Orlando Magic get these nuts $50,000. Come on, there wasn't nothing great or good about slavery. Hell, they celebrating Juneteenth because the motherfuckers didn't even tell the slaves they was free. That's one of the reasons why we're celebrating Juneteenth because that's the actual date we're supposed to be free. But they never told the motherfuckers. They never told the slaves that. And then we can't get reparation for shit like that. But getting back, I I just wonder what parents would let their child be. And you know what? Let me take that back. I want to take that back because I am seeing this day after day after day where kids are dying or not identifying themselves with a gender. But this is the question I always ask. If because they and I read this, they said this, the trans community had the highest suicide rate amongst that community. I need somebody to explain to me why their suicide rate is so high. Yeah, is it because of the pressures of being trans and what you go through? It does it come from the pressures of being trans and going through the trans, genders, going through everything that changes you from a male to a female or female to a male, and then you want to, go back to being that male or go back to being that female. I mean, we somebody have to have an answer. We have to have an answer. You know what I mean? But I'm on here to say do not associate this type of stuff with the Black Panther Party. And I'm sure they will agree with me. I know they will agree with me. But and when people say, I mean, to each his own, or well, these kids have that right, these kids have this right, these kids have that right. I mean, I think as a parent, until our kids get to an age well we believe or they believe or the system believe or whatever however you want to put it that they can make their own decisions. Come on. Anywhere 11 year eight, you're not going to sit here and tell me that if from a kid from 5 to 11 or 12 years old can make adult decisions and be right about it or happy about it. You can't that I just can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. You know, And I want somebody to correct me if I'm wrong. The last LGBTQ pride parade in Florida that they had, Dwayne Wade's son or daughter said she didn't even want to attend. She didn't even want to attend. That's because of that pressure. You know what I mean? She didn't even want to attend. But I just, once again, getting back on this, I just don't want the Black Panther Party or grassroots movements that's about to move it be affiliated with something that I truly don't believe they want to be affiliated with. And it's going back to like, I seen a thing on the video where these parents, not just black parents, these white parents, these all kind of parents, reading these books that's in these schools. One lady was reading a book where they were talking about kids, adult, whoever, masturbating, having sex and talking about sperm and all that. I mean, who would want their child at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old to even be part of that conversation? Who would want that? Now, I'm going to put this out there, and I'm going to put it out there in a way where people can understand it. If you if you confused, if you confused, I don't want to say confused. I don't want people to go in on me. So if we can create gender chaos, that's going to control the population. This is what I'm telling you now. If you put all the black men in jail, all the women, when you put all the black men in jail, 40-some% black men in jail, then you got the black men out here on the streets and drugs. I'm just going to take it down. I'm not going to just talk about black people. You got the black men in jail. You got black men out here doing drugs. You got women from both sides getting married, women from both sides adopting kids, women from both sides doing all this. So if you can't reproduce or recreate, what is that doing? That's throwing things off balance. But people don't see that. And that's the way we go. Everything is there's a balance, there's an uneven balance here in the world today. And that's because of these perverted people in Washington, all these perverted people all over the world that get their things off by creating this chaos. Now, I mean, if I did a thing as about gay, whatever. If you gay, if you lesbian, whatever, that's fine. Be what you want to be. But I don't think it's fair to us, heterosexual males or females, to be considered haters or be considered well, I'll say haters because we don't agree with your lifestyle. And if we speak on your lifestyle, it's like we're hating on you. I'm not hating on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because and I say this, that's why I got this shirt on. I say this all the time. When you can sit with me and tell me that you go through the same shit that black people go through every day as a community, and I'll say this: if being a victim, period, it does not right. I don't care if you're black, gay, whatever. Being victimized by those who don't agree with you, I don't agree with that. But what I will say is this: people, I don't care who you are as a community, cannot compare what you go through, whether you're LGBT, whether you're Italian, whether you're Jews, or whatever you what. You might can sit there and have this conversation and say we went through this, but no one can compare what they went through, what black people go through every day to this point. And I'm talking about black Americans. So we can't, let's not have that conversation. And I didn't want to go there, but I get tired of hearing this about, well, we went through that. You, and as an individual, you probably did, but you can't sit here and say that you went through this shit every day since you've been born, and since you've been born and living on this earth. Now, have I been a victim of all this stuff? I have, but I'm not acting like that no more. But I see innocent people getting pulled over, because they're black. And other people don't have to go through this every day. But far as the being a victim of violent crime, I agree with you. Everybody goes through that, but nobody goes through that and more pressure than what black people go through. So stop trying to associate what y'all went through to what black people went through. It don't even measure up. It don't even measure up. So I just had to get that out there. But getting back to this This the meaning health center at a Mindy Middle School. They got a health center in the middle school, and they talking about gender reassignment medication. That's what the fuck. Who cloned Tyrone? I mean, they so what they're doing. So I'm just basing this whole conversation on what I'm reading. So what they're saying to these people that's bringing these kids to these schools, we got this gender reassignment medication for your kids, and we're gonna work with your kids, and help them with their for gender assignment. So if they want to be male, we're gonna help them. If they want to be female, we're gonna help them, and we have the medication, and the things in place to help them through that transition. We're talking 11 years old. We're talking about 11-year-old kid, and schools are, and who's ever the school itself allowing this, I'll pull my son out of there. I'll pull my daughter out of there. And then people get upset and why there is so much of a of a beef with the American people, because they got us going in all different directions. Got us going in all different directions. And all people want to do, and all people just really want to do, they want to work, take care of their family, and go home. But you making that even tougher for people today. This is your main man, Brother Saeed. And you know what I close with. Black Panther Party ain't part of this. The Black Panther Party is not part of this gender reassignment medication. Get the black mind right. Peace.